You may not like it, but this is what peak performance looks like. More like cheek performance. No, that doesn't make any sense. What's going on, everybody? It is a Monday. I want to say it's January 10th, but it could be the 11th. I can't quite remember. We're gonna go ahead regardless and check the weight this morning. Okay, well, not exactly the number I was hoping for. 269.2. That is about 0.4 down from the previous weigh-in. Yeah, well, whatever. Doesn't matter. It is what it is. I'm not gonna start having an emotional reaction to my weigh-ins on the second day. Like, what the? Yeah, that would be pretty bad considering it's only been 2 weigh-ins on the cut and I'm already having an emotional reaction. And I lost weight. Like, the cycle is already starting, guys. This is something that I've had to try to overcome so much over the years, is just not getting emotionally attached to being to the weigh-ins. You know what I'm saying? Like, not having a visceral reaction when it's a number that I don't want to see. Like, how many times have that happened to me over the years and immediately derailed my progress? Like, I've got to get over it. It was I was a loss. It's still the right direction, and I'm just like, oh, I should be this number, I should be that number. It's like, no, you shouldn't be any number. You should just be the number that you are, you know? And then we go forward from there. Anyway, I'm about to start ranting here, and I don't want to do that. It's a pretty chill day today. I'm gonna go ahead and shower and get dressed so that you don't have to keep looking at me like this. And yeah, we got some more catching up to do. This would be so much easier if I had a camera person. But we are a one-man show here. What's going on, everybody? It's later in the afternoon, and I am almost about to hit the gym. I just ate literally 5 minutes ago, so I thought I'd record a clip while I sort of digest a little bit, and then I'll head on to the gym. There's a couple of things that I wanted to talk about. I was looking back at a video about a year ago that was shot in this very room, sitting in this very chair, talking about the things that I wanted to accomplish in 2021. And I don't mean to keep harping on how much I failed, but I did fail a lot. I thought it'd be fun to, well, I guess not fun. It's more like a therapeutic, just cleansing of the soul. I don't know what you'd call it, but just getting all the disappointment out into the ether so that we can start moving forward with our goals now, and just recap the things that I said that I wanted to accomplish in 2021 and how I basically failed pretty much every single one of them. We're going to start off with the squat. Now, the squat is actually one lift that I actually really excelled in 2021. I actually thought that I would overshoot my goals by a ton. But before I took the platform, which is when I was going to set my big PR, I got a little bit of an injury, so we had to play it safe here. But in 2021, I said that I was going to squat 405 pounds. That's what I wanted to do, and I ended up doing that relatively easily. And actually ended up squatting about 419 pounds. That was the heaviest squat that I had hit all year last year, which is pretty nice. I actually think I had about 430 in me, but the squat was the only thing that I really did well in the entire year, which is funny because it's always been a lift that I've actually had trouble with in the past, and now it's just feeling great, and every time I go into squat I get really excited. So funny how that turned out. The next goal was benching. I think it was just maintain my bench strength. And at the time, my PR was, I believe, 315 pounds. And I actually managed to hit 330 pounds not long after that. But basically, the only thing that I wanted to do the entire year was maintain my bench strength. And while technically I did succeed, I benched 325 pounds in competition. The thing is, I didn't accomplish the other goal that would have made that one really, really difficult. So I kind of look at the bench goal as like, in a technical sense, it was a success, but in reality, it was kind of a fail. At the time that I hit 315 pounds, I believe I was in the mid to high 250s. And, at the time that I hit the 325 pounds in comp, I was about the low to mid 260s. So I added probably about as much as 10 and as little as maybe like 5-ish pounds to my body weight over that time. And I only maintained my bench strength. In fact, it was technically a regression because I hit 330 at the similar weight. But it was also like, well, this is on comp plates and, whatever. So we don't want to get into all that kind of discussion. So maintaining bench strength for a year while maintaining body weight, or basically increasing body weight technically, is kind of an L if you really think about it. Like, your bench is supposed to go up the heavier you are. And the fact that it didn't go up that significantly throughout an entire year, while I gained, as much as like 15 pounds throughout that entire period, is really shit. So, I don't know. I'll leave that one up to the audience. Here's where we start getting into the actual fails, like the literal actual fails. So, I wanted to pull 450. And I failed pretty miserably at that. I think the heaviest pull that I ever attempted was like 429. And I missed it like so many times. I missed 429, I want to say like 3 or 4 times throughout the entirety of the year. Which is super, super disappointing. Like, I missed it in comp, which was bad enough. But I had missed it in training like 3 times before hitting it, or missing it in comp, I guess I should say. And then I believe I missed it again post comp. And even if I had hit 430, it was still 20 pounds under what I wanted, which was 450. So the deadlift for me is like a really, really tough lift. Like, it's one of those where I feel like my technique is not ever solid, and I never have confidence going into actual pulls. And like, for me also for the deadlift, it's like really frustrating because it's literally like always lockout, because off the floor it flies. And like, it's either I absolutely crush it or it misses. And that is like just the most frustrating thing about this. I mentioned that I wanted to hit a 200-pound overhead press, and I succeeded. Again, if you put that in as like my body weight, I believe I hit the 200-pound overhead press when I was in the low 60s, high 250s. So, is that impressive? I don't know. I don't really know a lot of people who can overhead press 200 pounds. So it may just be like, in absolute terms, it's still a phenomenal lift because there's not a lot of people who can do it. I'm not trying to take that away from myself. But again, the thing that was going to make that hard, I did not succeed at. So can we call that a win? I don't know. And it doesn't even matter anymore, because I don't overhead press at all, because I don't do my own programming, and the person who does do my own programming does not program overhead press. He barely programs any vertical presses at all. So even though I accomplished that goal, it's like I couldn't build upon it because I don't even do it anymore. So the last 2 goals were calisthenic goals. And and I failed at those because I was too fat. The first goal, I believe, was do a set of 10 on pull-ups or chin-ups. I can't remember which one it was, but learning about like calisthenic movements over the past couple of months has basically educated me to the fact that like calisthenics are extremely difficult to get good at. Like a set of 10 is actually, unless you're like a featherweight, right? It's not very easy. Especially going from 0 to 10, it can take you a while. And I don't even have pull-ups in my programs, and I couldn't even do them at the time that I had set that goal, and I still can't even do one at the time right now because I'm so big. I think I might be able to get like a chin up, but like not a pull-up for sure, and definitely not for reps. But I wanted to do a set of 10. I do enjoy pull-ups. I think they're great. They're probably my favorite back workout, just like period. But yeah, I can't really do them. Hopefully, cross my fingers, I'll get them in my program, because I actually haven't had them programmed also like the entirety of last year. But hopefully I'll get them in my program like as I move forward. And then the last goal was dips. I wanted to get a set of 25 on dips. I had previously done like sets of 12 on dips, and I thought I was the shit. But looking back on it, I'm not too sure if those were good reps. Also, I was a ton lighter, of course. And like right now, I don't even know if I could do a dip. I think I haven't tried to do dips in a long time. But yeah, again, they're not in my program, so I don't do them. For bodybuilding, dips are amazing. They're just absolutely wonderful. Of course, there is a caveat. I mean, not everybody can do them. So if you're able to do them, great. And if you're not able to do them, that sucks, but at least it's not the end of the world. But yeah, failed that one and failed the pull-up goal. So not a good year for calisthenics, I'll tell you that. And then the final goal, which, is the obvious one, is I wanted to lose at least 50 pounds. I was 250. I wanted to be under 200 pounds. And obviously I failed that spectacularly. In fact, I went in the opposite direction. And like you see, I am pretty much like 5 pounds away from having gained everything back that I've ever gained. So yeah, there's really nothing to say about that one that I haven't already said. In fact, speaking of things that I've already said, I wanted to address something really quick before I head out to the gym. I've gotten a decent amount of comments on the last video. Really appreciate everybody engaging. But I just wanted to clear something up. So I mentioned in the last video that, I was able to be athletic, essentially. I think that's what I was saying, despite, being my weight. I don't know if that came off as a misinterpretation or whatever, but I wasn't like, first of all, I was not trying to justify anything. You guys know that I do not want to be here, so I wasn't trying to say or be like, hey, it's okay because blah, blah, blah. I was just simply saying that, one of my goals in my life was to compete in a powerlifting meet. Like, that's what I wanted to do. And I was super, super nervous, and I honestly did not want to compete until I had lost the weight, because I had that in my head. But I overcame that, thanks in part to my buddy Dom, who I don't know if still watches these videos, but if he wasn't doing a meet and then reached out to me saying we should do a series of like a meet prep series, like if he wasn't actually doing a meet, I probably wouldn't have felt pressure, or maybe not pressure, like motivation. It was positive, it wasn't negative. So like I wouldn't have gotten motivated to do my own meet, like because I wanted us to have an even playing field when we compared at the very end. But so yeah, my original plan was to lose the weight and then compete. I was basically thinking like it wouldn't be a good time to try to prep for a meet while being so large, and it ended up being just fine. Like I'm actually glad that I was able to get my first meet out of the way without having to essentially worry about like, after I've gone through this entire period, am I going to even be able to compete properly? Is my body just going to give up on me? And it was great. I was surrounded by a lot of great people. The meet experience itself was so rewarding. And I definitely want to return. Like, that is a goal of mine, is to go back. I want to compete again. This is something that I thought I was going to want to do. And now that I've done it, I'm so glad that I did it. And I know now that this is definitely something that I want to do. I am not trying to say that I'm like okay with being this way. I'm not. I do not want to. I hate this. I hate this. And it's not that I hate myself. Well, maybe there's a little bit of that, but it's more that I'm so uncomfortable in the gym. I don't feel great. I feel like able to complete workouts is not something that you should strive for, right? You should strive to feel loose, or maybe, I don't know if loose is the right word, mobile. You should strive to feel strong and mobile and able to do everything the way that you want it to do, and not have to like work around your body, like getting in your own way. Like, that is something that I experienced throughout this prep and throughout this time being this large again. I experienced that. I experienced the fact that being this big has made it difficult to be comfortable doing the things that I want to do. It hasn't prevented me yet. It has not prevented me from squat, bench, deadlift. It has not prevented me from, lifting weights. It's not prevented me from going anywhere and doing anything. That is really what I was trying to say. Like, it's a shitty situation. I don't want to be here. But the silver lining is it hasn't prevented me from doing anything that I wanted to do yet. That is the only thing I was trying to say. Again, I'm not justifying anything. We are not staying here at all. We are not staying here. I really believe that my meet prep process would have been much more enjoyable had I been lighter, because I think I would have enjoyed training a lot more. I would have felt more fit. I would have been able to put a lot more effort into everything that I do. And, maybe that's not the case. Maybe I'll lose all the weight and find out that it was literally all just mental, right? But at least I would know the answer to that question instead of thinking about it. And again, it's like, this is something that I want to do. I don't like the way that I look right now. I don't like the way that I feel. I'm uncomfortable. Like, again, not justifying anything. All I was trying to say was there's a silver lining. I was able to step on the platform, even despite being 40% body fat, despite not looking great, and still have a fantastic time and really, really enjoy myself. That is what I was trying to say. And there's other stuff that was mentioned in a few comments, but I don't want to spend any more time talking about it here. We got to head out to the gym. So I was supposed to get a new week today. So I thought I was going to hit a big squat today. I was hoping that it was going to be another single, but I have not gotten my new week today. But that's actually a good thing, since I was looking on my schedule and I actually skipped a workout last week, which is the most boring workout pretty much. It's like really, really like the least fun exercises. It's basically a leg workout with 3 count bench as the main lift, and that fucking sucks. Like, 3 count bench is my least favorite bench variation, because it's like you have to hold the brace forever, and you're basically just sitting there, and like one misgroove and your entire set is totally fucked. And it's not like tempo, where at least tempo, you're like really training that positioning. You're thinking about a lot while you're lifting. With 3 count, you're trying to not think about nothing, and that is the worst, Plus I low-key don't think it really helps me at all. But we're gonna go there anyway and just do our thing. So Yeah, could have been a squat PR day, but it's not going to be that. It's going to be boring old 3 count. But hopefully tomorrow, by tomorrow, I'll get my new week. And I gotta go back to my apartment because I gotta pick up some packages. And I'll probably work out over there. And that'll be fun because maybe there'll be some people from the team there. And we can have a nice fun vlog. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna go to the gym right now and get this day over with. I'll see you guys there. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the commentary section of the video. The workout today was pretty, well, like I mentioned, it's pretty underwhelming, but it's just part of the process, getting the work in and doing what has to be done, all that generic bullshit. So 3 count pause today, did 3x5 at 6.5. The first set was 245 pounds. The next 2 sets were with 250 pounds. I decided to chip it. Today, bench has been feeling good. Like, I felt really strong today. But bench has been considerably inconsistent this entire off season. And actually, kind of for maybe the entirety of last year, it just has felt like not quite able to pin down like what a good technique for me is and like the factors that determine what a good day is going to be for me. It's been absolutely annoying to just try to figure out why the fuck this bench press will not budge. Like, I've been kind of stuck here for a year now. And there's been a lot of factors, that led to that. But, like, I think just in general, the inconsistency for the bench has been crazy. Like, even in this week, like, some days feel like I'm firing on all cylinders, and then other days are just absolute trash. And today was a day where I was feeling really great, and I kind of pushed it a little bit, and it's technically a PR. Most of the stuff that I do on this variation is a PR because I've never done this variation before up until about a few months ago. But yeah, unlike the squat, which is always great, and the deadlift, which is always trash, the bench press is just inconsistent as hell. It's hard to tell what's going to be the day. So, moving on to the second exercise, which is hack squats. Usually belt squat would be here, but this gym does not have access to a belt squat, which makes me very sad because I love the belt squat. And you guys know me, I've had a love-hate relationship with this hack squat. Recently, I've been feeling it. I think I've adjusted my technique so that's more comfortable. But, yeah, in the past, it's like banged up my knees and shit, but right now it's feeling great. This is 205 pounds for a set of 10. And yeah, just getting that secondary squat in. I'm hoping the next squat variation that I get is actually with a bar because I prefer that to like a machine, even a belt squat. Moving on to flat dumbbell presses. I'm taking the same protocol with my flat that I'm doing my incline, where I'm starting stupid light. This is only 70s for 10. And then I'm going to ramp up slowly. And eventually I want to start repping like hundreds, 120s for like 8 to 10 reps here. But yeah, that's going to take a long time. And I just don't really know where I am in terms of dumbbell work because I've been kind of sandbagging them for a long time. Anyway, these are goblet squats. I'm supposed to bias like late extension, like I'm supposed to extend later in the movement, but honestly, I'm not too sure if I'm accomplishing that. Like, my goblet squat form is so bad anyway that even if I attempted to do it the way that my coach wants me to do it, I don't think I get much out of it just because the form in general is just not good. So I hope these carry over to something eventually. And then the final exercise is these cable crossover tricep extensions. I'm sure this does something special, but I completely forgot what it was. But hey, not going to complain about more tricep work because we're trying to build those giant arms. So that's going to actually conclude today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys tomorrow.